Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We've got something incredibly practical to unpack today. We're taking a deep dive into a really fascinating blueprint from Repautomate. It's essentially a step-by-step strategy specifically designed for South African businesses to completely eliminate over R100,000 in administrative costs. And honestly, the best part about this whole thing? The strategy shows you how to do this without replacing a single member of your staff. So let's jump right in and see exactly how this works.
Look, right out of the gate, we have to address the elephant in the room. It's the main fear almost every team has when they hear those two letters, AI. Everyone wants to know, can you actually cut $100,000 in admin costs without slashing your payroll? Well, the answer is an absolute emphatic yes. The core philosophy we're exploring here is all about building AI around people, not instead of people. It's about stripping away all that repetitive, low-value grunt work so your team can finally focus on what they do best, using their judgment, building client relationships, and actually solving complex problems. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the hidden admin trap. Then we'll get into calculating the R100K saving. After that, we'll look at specific AI tools for business, walk through the 8-phase implementation plan, and wrap things up with smart limits and safe AI.
All right, part 1. The hidden admin trap.
You know, admin rarely looks like one giant, obvious block of wasted time. Instead, it hides. It's hidden in 1,000 small, everyday interruptions. In fact, Asana's Anatomy of Work Global Index found that a staggering 62% of the workday is just lost to mundane tasks. We're talking about a whole list of chores, re-entering the exact same data across multiple systems, manually pulling together weekly reports, endlessly searching through WhatsApp or emails just to find that one missing file, drafting the exact same client update for the 10th time, or chasing down managers for approvals. This isn't just an annoyance for your staff, it is literally a massive drain on your operational budget.
Which brings us to part 2, calculating the R100K saving.
Let's look at the actual math Repautomate put together using two very solid public data points. First up, Google's AI Works report found that workers using generative AI were saving roughly 122 hours per year on administrative tasks. Keep that number in mind. Second, PayScale lists the average base hourly rate for office administration in South Africa at about R48.40. So if you multiply those 122 hours saved by R48.40, you get R$5,904.80 of administrative value saved per single worker. Now, what happens if you apply that to a modest team of, say, 17 staff members who are bogged down with heavy admin? The math gets real very quickly.
Boom, you hit this number right here. $100,381.60. It's a pretty striking figure, isn't it? But remember our core philosophy from earlier? This is absolutely not $100,000 removed from your payroll. No, this is over $100,000 worth of manual, mindless capacity that has been handed directly back to your business. It is precious time your team can now spend on work that actually drives your growth forward.
But hey, every business is entirely unique. So the crucial takeaway is that you need to calculate your own specific number. You can use this exact formula provided by Repautomate. Simply take your team's estimated hours saved, multiply it by their hourly cost, and then multiply that by the total number of people affected. And a quick pro tip here, when you're calculating that hourly cost, don't just use their base salary. You've got to factor in the management time spent reviewing that work and the costly rework caused by normal, everyday manual human errors.
Okay, moving right along to part 3, AI tools for business.
We're going to start with generative AI. IBM defines this pretty simply as AI that can create or improve original content based on a request or prompt. So instead of your staff staring at a blank screen trying to figure out where to start, they're using a system that generates text, creates summaries, or builds reports instantly based on the instructions they give it.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, practically speaking, it means having AI draft your routine client updates. It means summarizing an entire 1-hour meeting into clear bullet points in literally seconds. It's taking incredibly complex technical notes and instantly rewriting them into plain English, or even generating the first drafts of your standard operating procedures. This drastically cuts down the hours your staff spends just agonizing over writing and formatting.
Next up is AI document processing. Honestly, this is the ultimate weapon for stopping manual data entry dead in its tracks. It's a type of AI that intelligently reads, classifies, and then extracts very specific, targeted data directly from your documents. Think about what that actually means for your daily operations.
You no longer have to pay someone to sit there typing out data from a PDF invoice into your accounting software. The AI simply pulls the necessary data directly from complex application packs, messy handwritten job cards, delivery notes, and inspection sheets. It basically eliminates duplicate data capture and all the inevitable, frustrating rework that comes from human typos.
All right, let's get into part 4, the 8-phase implementation plan.
Repautomate gives us a very clear, safe blueprint to roll this out. Phase 1 is simply identifying the repetitive tasks. Literally, go ask the people doing the work what they copy and paste the most every day. Phase 2 is auditing your admin bottlenecks. Remember, you don't want to just automate a bad process, you need to simplify it first. Phase 3 is absolutely crucial. Choose just one single low-risk pilot project. You want to start small. Then, Phase 4 is training your staff properly. Interestingly enough, that same Google AI Works report found that if you just give staff a few hours of training plus explicit permission that they're actually allowed to use AI, it can literally double their daily usage.
Moving to the next phases. Phase 5 is creating a straightforward AI usage policy, so your staff knows exactly what is and isn't safe to share with the tool. Phase 6 is integrating AI directly into your existing workflows. AI really needs to live inside the processes you already use. If it's just another disconnected tab they have to open, they won't use it. Phase 7 is actually measuring the time savings. And finally, Phase 8 is to expand gradually, taking it step by step so you build trust with your team.
Let's actually look at Phase 7 in action. When we measure the savings directly, the results are wild. A weekly report that used to take 4 exhausting hours to prepare manually, that drops down to just 1.5 hours with AI assistance. What about meeting notes that took 45 minutes to type up and format? Handled in 10 minutes flat. When you actually track the before and after, the sheer amount of capacity returned to the business is completely undeniable.
Finally, we reach part 5, smart limits and safe AI.
Listen, AI is a fantastic assistant, but it is not your executive. There are absolutely things you must not automate. Do not automate legal interpretations, HR disciplinary decisions, final financial approvals, medical advice, or highly sensitive customer complaints. Final decisions in these high-stakes, sensitive areas have got to remain firmly in the hands of fully accountable human beings. AI can totally prepare the summary, but a human must make the call.
We also really need to anchor all of this in compliance. The information regulator in South Africa makes it crystal clear that POPIA demands strict protection of personal information. You absolutely cannot have your staff just pasting sensitive client data, private employee records, or confidential business financials into public OpenAI tools. Your usage policy from Phase 5 has got to be totally uncompromising on this rule.
To help you actually manage that governance, Repautomate points straight to the NIST Risk Management Framework. These principles are basically your ultimate safety guardrails for rolling out AI. You need to ensure your systems are valid, reliable, safe, secure, accountable, transparent, and fair. Whether you're operating in the US or right here in South Africa, these are the principles that guarantee your AI integration is controlled and responsible.
Let's circle back to that Asana data we talked about earlier. Remember this? 62% of the workday is entirely lost to that massive red slice of repetitive, mundane tasks. The ultimate goal of every single thing we've discussed today is shrinking that red slice down. We want to expand the gray slice so your staff finally has the breathing room to do the high-value work that actually moves the needle for your company.
So before you jump in and start your own implementation, keep this rapid-fire checklist handy. Ask yourself, have we identified a specific task? Have we measured the current time spent on it? Have we deeply considered POPI compliance? Are the staff fully trained? Have we clearly defined exactly where human review steps in? And are we prepared to measure the actual time saved? If you can confidently check all those boxes, you are ready to go. Which brings us to our final thought. The real opportunity here isn't just about working faster, it's about gaining far better operational control. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. Are you treating your team like robots by forcing them to do endless, mindless admin? Or are you giving them the AI tools they need to finally be human? Eliminating that R100K in admin isn't about replacing your people. It's about empowering their human judgment. Thanks so much for joining me on today's Explainer, and I hope you leave feeling totally ready to reclaim your team's time